Okay, so according to multiple articles, and of course the basis to one of Unbox Therapy's new videos, iPhones just aren't as fast as Android devices. Is that true, or is it a tad misleading?
Get daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.
Jiggity-doo bop! What's going on? Welcome to Page Tech. Of course, the show that gives you all latest tech news from one geek that's me to know that is you. Happy Saturday. Lovely Saturday episode of Uppata. Listen, this episode we're going to take our chance to sort of catch up on Apple news from this week. So if you're not cool with that, if you don't want to listen to a full episode just of Apple stuff, now's your chance to see yourself out. The door's over there. It's cool. No hard feelings. I understand. It's fine. If you do leave, though, I will eat your dog. What? All right, so story numero uno. If you have an iPad Pro, take a look at that headphone jack, put it in front of your face, pucker up, and mwah, kiss it goodbye. There's a new report out there that states that Apple's new iPad Pro models for this year are going to be shrinking down a bit, and they're going to be getting rid of that headphone jack. Oh no! What will you do without your headphone jack? All this time, Pro meant comes with headphone jack. That is it! I will not stand for this. I will not let Apple take another headphone jack away! I shall riot! Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't think it matters. Actually, I didn't even know that the iPad Pro had a headphone jack, so, you know, So, if you watch this show frequently, then you know how I feel about the upcoming iPhone 9. That's what we're calling it. When in reality, it's the 6.1-inch LCD iPhone model for this year, one of the 3 models coming this year. You know how I feel. You know that I think it's going to completely outsell the other models. Maybe not right away, but definitely within the first year will outsell both the follow-up iPhone 10, iPhone 11, whatever they're going to call it, and the iPhone 10 Plus, iPhone 11 Plus, whatever they're going to call it. In fact, about a month ago-ish, I did a video covering 4 reasons why I believe this LCD model will outsell the others. And one of the reasons I gave was because it's going to look the same as the other ones. And to the average consumer, that's all that matters. They're not going to be able to tell the difference between OLED display and LCD display. I mentioned that Apple might be able to achieve that similar iPhone 10 design and keep those bezels small because they might move forward, or at least it's possible for them to implement full active LCD displays. And now we have a report that states they might do exactly that. So according to said report, Apple is going to be using full active displays from Japan Pixels. The display features a Japan Pixel Eyes touch sensor, whatever that is. The point here is with full active LCD displays, manufacturers can sort of simulate the same things you can do with an OLED display. In other words, curve. Because of this, Apple might be able to get those bezels ultra tiny, baby, getting them as low as 0.5 millimeters. For context and perspective here, the bezel on the iPhone 10 currently is around 1 millimeter. So, totally doable. The report also states, however, that Apple is having some manufacturing troubles in terms of how fast they can make them, and it may have forced them to actually delay the model, the 6.1-inch LCD model, into November. But I mean, we've been talking about delays of this model for a while now on this show. Again, as you know, I'm super excited for this model. I think it's going to be the thing that makes me go back to the iPhone. Not necessarily that it's an LCD display and that it's cheaper and all that stuff and the fun colors. I think those things are all great. Mostly because it's the perfect size for me in between that 5.8-inch and 6.5-inch iPhones. Ooh, baby darling, I'm gonna buy this phone so hard. Also, if they really do delay this and drop it November, it's going to kill the market. This comes out right before Christmas. Sorry, everybody else. This is gonna be a doozy. Okay, so now let's talk about the whole are iPhones slower than Android devices thing. There's been multiple articles, as I said, multiple videos made about this. In fact, you know how we feel about BGR. F them. The article was titled, "If Smartphone Speed is Important to You, iPhones Probably Shouldn't Be Your First Choice." I mean, as they always do, they put out an article with the worst misleading title imaginable, as always. And Lou from Unbox Therapy put out a video titled, "The Surprising Truth About the iPhone 10, and the description says, "Is the iPhone 10 actually slower than the Galaxy S9? Jesus Christ. All right, so let me just clear this up right now. We're not talking about smartphone speeds. That video from Unbox Therapy wasn't actually about smartphone speeds, and the article from BGR was not about smartphone speeds. What we're discussing here are internet speeds, download speeds, when you're on a wireless network, not native phone speeds. Let's just clear that up right the fuck now. Basically, this all stems from an article from Bloomberg. Bloomberg stated that on average, at least when compared to Android devices like the Galaxy S9, iPhones are actually slower in terms of network speeds on your wireless network, not on Wi-Fi, on your wireless network, averaged by like a difference of like 10 megabits per second. And there's been testing. Unbox Therapy did testing in that video that I mentioned, and the results came out pretty much the same, like a 20% difference-ish. The reason for this is because Apple actually uses Qualcomm chips and Intel chips inside their devices. And actually, depending on where you buy your iPhone from, you could have one of those chips. For instance, if you buy an unlocked version of the iPhone, like from apple.com, you're gonna have a completely different chip in it than if you were to buy it from a network. So the Qualcomm chips are significantly faster than the Intel chips, and as Unbox Therapy pointed out, and as the Bloomberg article pointed out, Apple actually sort of manipulates the speeds in software to make sure that both of these things match. A lot of people see this as Apple cheating the customer, right? I mean, Qualcomm chips are capable of faster speeds, so why not let us have the speeds, Apple? But to me, it actually makes total sense. And you know, I'm not always on Apple's side, but like, why would they sell the same, like iPhone 10, right? It's the same phone, but depending on how you buy it, some of you might experience different speeds than the others. Why would that be cool, and why would that be fair to ship products like that? It makes total sense that they want to sort of use software to sort of control those speeds on those Qualcomm devices so that they sort of match the speeds as people buying the ones with Intel chips inside of them. Either way, regardless of what I think, regardless of what you think, that's all about to change, because Apple is ditching Qualcomm. To be fair, this has been boiling over for a while. Apple does not want to pay the fees to Qualcomm. And Qualcomm certainly wouldn't budge for Apple. They wouldn't cut them a better deal. So Tim Cook's just like, all right, fuck you, who cares? So that's it. For the next iPhone, Apple is done using Qualcomm cellular modems. And because of that, iPhones moving forward will have significantly slower LTE speeds. I say significantly because I mean that for people like us, people that would notice, but I don't think it's significant for everybody, and that's my point. At the end of the day, though, this is just a dick measuring contest for Apple. They don't care. They couldn't negotiate a better deal, so they said, whatever, we don't care. We're not even going to use you anymore. We'll use Intel. Who cares? To be honest, though, I don't think we're going to be seeing a major difference here. Like I said, in software anyway, regardless, even if the phone did have a Qualcomm chip inside of it, it didn't matter. Apple was limiting the speeds there to match the Intel chips anyway. My argument here is that the average consumer, I keep telling you this all the time, the average consumer doesn't give a single shit. They don't know the difference. And even if someone, as they were buying their phone, the employee was like, listen, you're going to get like 20% better speeds. You might get 10 megabits per second more if you buy this Samsung device instead of this iPhone. They're going to be like, I don't care, fucking give me the iPhone. Put it in my bag. I'm done. This conversation's over. I'm still getting an iPhone. They don't care either way. I'm curious though on your thoughts. Remember, you aren't the average consumer. If you're watching this tech news show, if you're subscribed to this channel, if you're paying attention to this stuff, chances are you aren't the average consumer. And it's my job to remind you that people like us are disproportionately outnumbered by the average everyday people. They're not dumb. They just don't even care to know the difference. It doesn't matter to them like it matters to us. Let me know in the comment section below. Is Apple crossing the line? Is this too far, or does it not actually matter? And that, of course, here's the show. Hopefully you liked it. You learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you hate my stupid face, hit the dislike button. And also subscribe. There's that button too. Any more buttons to worry about? The notification bell, and the fuck you button. Bye.